Welcome to the ACC on ESPN. We just crowned a Super Bowl champion, and Louisville has not lost since the NFL's wild card weekend. 8 in a row in the win column for Louisville, the top team in the ACC, and they take on Wake Forest tonight, a team that just beat Clemson by 12. So, Joe Lunardi's got 3 ACC teams in the NCAA tournament right now. It is a very top-heavy league with Louisville, Duke, and Florida State, those 3 teams in. Virginia has a win tonight against Clemson to move to 7-4, and that is the lay of the land as we join you from the KFC Yum Center. Jason Benetti, glad to be joined by Dan Dawkins. I'm paid to say that. Look, Louisville, what can we learn about the Cardinals in this game against Wake Forest as they vie for a #1 seed?
Well, I think what you're going to see is a well-rounded team. You're going to see a team that their best player, Jordan Wara, will play defense and play hard and rebound. You're going to see a team that is a true team. They move the basketball. They're not afraid to throw it inside. They have shot the ball fantastic over this win streak. I think you're going to see arguably the best team in the country tonight, Jason.
You think so?
I do. I mean, look, you can make an argument for a lot of teams. Baylor really good, Gonzaga certainly, but this is as good as any, the team in white.
Demon Deacons come in at 3-8 in the ACC, and there is Brandon Childress, the son of Wake Forest great Randolph Childress. Wake gets about 72 points a game. They won with 56 over the weekend against Clemson, and the first turnover is a travel. They turn it over nearly 15 times a game. And here's the starting 5 for Louisville. We mentioned Jordan Wara. He is a Wendy's Wooden Award candidate.
Well, I think he is. I think he is, along with Luka Garza and Obi Toppin, pretty much the top 3 in my opinion. He just plays both ways, and he's shooting the ball terrific. Had a couple down games, broke out the other night.
Darius Perry, the miss. Louisville's the 4th best team in three-point percentage in the country. We will see streaky good shooting from Louisville tonight as Torrey Johnson cracks the scoring.
Well, you're going to see three-point shooting, but more than that, you're going to see good three-point shots. As I said earlier, they'll throw it inside. Wara's not afraid, and playing on the same side with Enoch is pretty good.
How hot is Louisville? They are off to their best conference start since 1993. I thought you were going to answer, but the graphic's going to do it for you, which is wonderful. 8-game win streak in the ACC, the longest in school history since they joined the league, and then 45% from 3 the last 9 games.
Yeah, and they just take good shots, and they always have a post presence, and it can be a couple different guys. But Chris Mack, I think, is one of the outstanding coaches in college basketball. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And they play like a team. They just do.
10 years as a head coach for Chris Mack, whether here or other stops, including Xavier. 9 out of his 10 years he's been to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, he did a great job at Xavier, and he's come here and he is. I think about this. Rick Pitino, one of the all-time great coaches in NCAA basketball. He gets fired, and nobody even talks about Pitino a couple years later. Why? Because of the job Chris Mack's done. Think about other great programs where a superstar coach has been like, oh, heck, Indiana High School, they're still reeling 20 years later.
Childress cans at 3. Brandon Childress, very talented three-point shooter, gets him 15 points a game. He's got his first 3.
Yeah, he's a terrific all-around player. He passes it. I don't know that they recruited him to be the leading scorer here, but you know what? Pretty good two-way player.
He's got the steal, he's got a drive, and he's got 2 more, and a 7-2 lead for Wake Forest.
Well, I think Wake improved greatly in their win against Clemson. They played a lot of teams close. They got blowout against Duke.
And 3s are going to come quick from Darius Perry and Louisville.
I always look at the opposing coach, and Danny Manning, he's looking at his bench thinking to himself, how could you possibly let Wara get a good look?
Jordan Wara, one of the top players in the country, as a big guy at 6'7", shooting 43% from 3.
Yeah, and he just, how about this?
One more, no. Rebound for Olivier Sarr.
First thing you notice about Louisville, this first game I've done and seen them in person, how big and thick they are. These are strong-built guys, terrific weight program.
Another 3, this one from Andrian White.
White's 39%, he's 81% free throw shooter, so it doesn't surprise. Here's a wide open one if he wants it.
Wara drives instead and missed it. I mentioned Perry as a very good three-point shooter, 40%. Wara, 43%. McMahon, 45, and what a challenge there. Down to the deck for Wara.
Guama thought he was going to have a dunk here. He slips everything, wide open, good pass, and here comes Wara, gets a running start. You don't get to see a running start. Watch, he's running into the shot block. That's pretty good.
Catch and shoot, look for three, won't fall down for White. Oh, how about this ball handling from Perry, and he finally had it ripped away.
Yeah, a little too much, too crowded.
Oh, White heard the footsteps, didn't he?
I give Fresh Kimball credit. He sprinted back. It would have been easy to give up on that.
Danny Manning, year number 6. He's been to one NCAA tournament. They were in the first 4 a couple of years ago. And hoping for a comeback from the bottom of the ACC right now at 3-8.
Well, it would be it's a daunting task, but he's been injured. They've had injuries they've dealt with all year long. Danny's a good coach. He's a really good coach. Showed that at Tulsa. He just hasn't had any luck here.
Wara's second three makes it 10-8.
This is a confident Louisville team. I know they're losing, but that's short-lived. This is a really confident, good Louisville team.
You talk about a team that looked ready to play. We were watching it shoot around earlier today. They're as together of a group as you're going to see right now, and that's in part due to Chris Mack, who's one of the great communicators as a coach in the country.
Yeah, and it's a veteran team. You know, you've got guys that have been around college basketball, whether it's Wara or Enoch or Fresh Kimball transferring from St. Joe's, and that's important because, let's be honest, most teams aren't old. I was talking to Bob Huggins this week. You know, his team is among the youngest in the country. 1.2 years of experience on average.
And you just saw what they did to Iowa State.
So you're seeing two distinct teams, an older team in Louisville and a younger team in West Virginia. In the tournament, give me the older team every time.
And down the stretch of games, even at the end of the regular season.
No,
right?
Well, these are the games. You know, contrary to what the public may think, conference championships are big. Really big to teams and programs, league championships, and this is where you find out because these are the games.
Ryan McMahon's checked in for Louisville, and he is as much of a striker from 3 as anybody in the country. He had 7 of them in their win against NC State on Saturday. Right at the rim, Enoch for 2.
Yeah, Sarr got too high, and if you get high on Enoch, he rides you up the lane, and he's going to get an easy bucket. That's as good offense as that was. That's bad post defense.
Isaiah Musius is in, the sophomore for Wake Forest. White thought about the 3. Sean D. Brown back from injury. Back to White, and he drops another one in. He's feeling it.
Yeah, he is, and McMahon was right in his face.
McMahon got it for 3. You have to find him right away.
Did you hear the crowd when he went up to shoot? Everybody was excited. He had 6 in a row, hit his first 6 threes against North Carolina State, and that's on the road. That's at North Carolina State where they can be nasty. He didn't care.
No, he didn't care at all. 7 for 10. As Musius misses, Wara fell, and this is tipped out of bounds to Wake Forest by Dwayne Sutton. Louisville trying to get up to that number 1 seed line in Joe Lunardi's bracket. Will make their case when we come back. We are a month away from Champ Week, and here are Joe Lunardi's top 8 right now. Louisville is the best 2 seed as it stands tonight. West Virginia with a win over Iowa State just before our game. And what's Louisville's case? With San Diego State unbeaten, Baylor looks like the best team in the country. Here's what Louisville's got: 6th in the BPI, wins against Michigan, at Duke. The losses are good losses as well. Florida State is a tremendous team.
One of the things I like, Kenny Klein, longtime sports information director here, first thing I asked, how's your team? He said, we're getting better. And I think you saw that at Duke. I think you see it, you know, every night out. They just continue to get better. Now, they're going to have to get better quick here because Wake Forest is making shots, and Wake Forest has been pretty smart so far in this ballgame.
Wake's gotten some very good looks at the rim.
Wake's played people tough. I mean, yeah, they're in last, Yeah, it's on the road, but they have played people tough, and they've moved the basketball and shot with confidence thus far.
There's David Johnson, who had a big game at Duke and 19 points in that win. He traveled right there.
I like David Johnson going downhill in transition. Sometimes in half court, he gets a little too deep, puts the ball in a bad spot. The two places freshmen get in trouble: side of the lane and the baseline. The baseline is like a magnet, and so is going to the side of the lane and getting trapped like you just saw.
Why is that?
You're used to doing whatever you want in high school. If you get on the baseline with the ball, you beat somebody, and it just is.
That's a great hang, and 2 and a foul. Sutton ends up with the whistle, and Sean D. Brown, who Wake got back in that game against Clemson, is a game changer for them.
He is, and you're going to see it right here. He's been hurt, a little banged up, but you're going to see he's strong, keeps his chin on the rim, plays through contact, and Sutton's a strong kid. Brown just went through him.
He missed 8 games with the leg injury, but 12 points a game last year as a sophomore, and now Wake's up 6. Look, they put up 56 points in a win on Saturday. They got 19 already and 6 and change.
Well, they've played a combination zone defense here where it's a matchup zone with man-to-man principles. You see number 1 in the lane. Just watch number 1. He's played from the top of the key, now to the post.
And fronted there against Williams. McMahon missed the jumper. Wara gets him a second chance. And no third chance. Williams couldn't corral it.
The one problem with matchup zone rebounding.
Mucius has quite a bit of length, sophomore out of the state of New York. Off the pass from Torrey Johnson, Mucius sticks a 3, and Wake's got 22.
Every shot has been with confidence. Try to watch number 1 in the zone if you can watch off the ball a little bit. He's the key to this.
He's at the far side of the lane right now.
Right, comes into the middle, trails to this side. See, he's talking. That's the key here. You have to communicate in this.
He gets a hand up for McMahon. Second chance. He said it, rebounding. It's happened twice.
And that's from the same spot. Ball goes to the corner. Nobody is blocking out the man at the top of the key left.
Crowd's trying to get into it on a chilly night here in Louisville. And they're going to get the hook against Jacoby Neath. You like that call?
Yeah, I did. I think there was a hook there. It was right in front of the official. Actually, both officials had it. But I tell you what, Chris Mack is all over his team to get into the ball tougher. Chris feels like they are not getting enough ball pressure, and they worked on it today at practice.
They worked on it all shoot-around.
Yeah.
Ball pressure. He was in people's face for half the shoot-around about ball pressure. Drop off Williams, he stuffs it in.
Little side ball screen. Williams, Johnson got into the lane, and it forced Mucius to come up to help open up the basket for a dunk.
So now there's some more pressure on the ball, at least for the moment. Williams pops out to defend. To the corner it goes, and Mucius missed it by a large margin. That was better defensive possession. McMahon does not find himself in the paint a whole lot.
No, he got a little casual going underneath.
Off the power dribble, Mucius again. He's halfway to 10.
You hate to be critical. No, I don't.
You know you don't.
That was no hustle by Williams. Like, Mucius kind of came down and he just went where he wanted. Williams didn't come get him, and Mucius gets involved there again.
Torrey Johnson and a whistle behind the play and a foul. Wake by 7 there.
Hey, Wake didn't really get into transition. They just kind of fell into it. Mucius, watch Williams right here. He kind of walks out. Doesn't even really get a hand up. Got to play harder than that.
Jay Billis just sits in a studio and yells about that rivalry until they find things for the promo. It's amazing. Look at this. That's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
It's outrageous.
It's impossible.
They should just never play again.
Right.
But when they are gonna, it's Saturday, 6 Eastern on ESPN, and you absolutely will want to watch because of the crowd. It's insane.
I read something, and I don't know since when, but it's been a long, long time since one was a 10-point favorite over the other. And it's going to happen this weekend.
Bound to happen.
Yeah.
Carolina has not been playing good basketball. Duke is looking like it's finding its footing. There's a hard drive and a floater for Neath, and Wake Forest continues to pepper the scoreboard.
Ball in the lane, ball down the court. Not settling. Pretty good offense thus far by Danny Manning.
I hear restlessness in this crowd right
big
now.
time.
Well, Chase McMahon with Neath. This goes kicking into the backcourt. It was deflected.
It's off.
And it went off Louisville. So there were there were two deflections. One time off Wake, I believe, was the signal by the official, and then one time off Louisville to get out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't know what David Johnson was thinking, because this right there goes off his knee. Referee
you see
was
AJ Desai saying deflection.
Yeah, AJ Desai kind of tricked him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If I'm a player and I see deflection there, you let it roll out of bounds, maybe. Although it's safer to pick it up if there's been a deflection and the foul on Perry.
When you have time to pick it up, it's always best to pick it up.
Yeah.
Under your own basket, you never pick it up and throw it back in. You let it go. But on that angle, you got to pick it up and go the other way.
This is the trap game of all trap games, huh? I mean, I know you don't love the term trap game, but Louisville's won 8 in a row. They're playing a Wake Forest team that's overall under 500. Wake comes out shooting the lights out. Yeah,
you know, big game where they're any good or not. Virginia comes in Saturday and defending national champs.
White, no dice. Offensive rebound and a reload for Johnson for 2. And just behind us, multiple fans put their hands up as if to say, what is going on?
Well, here's 2 things that went on. One, the rebound went long and Wake Forest out-hustled. And then 2, Johnson got back into play, and there's another hustle play by Wake Forest.
Johnson, a lot of dribbling. Missed the jumper. Rebound for Sutton. Who's going to score for Louisville? Got the 2 freshmen on the floor together, Williamson and Johnson.
I like Perry or throw it inside. That's terrible.
Sure is. Came right back out for Williams, who's fouled by Childress. Hey, hustling's going to get you points.
And Danny Manning's team has come out to out-hustle Louisville. Okay, long rebound. You get it. Now you look, and instead of drifting back, you see Johnson. He's inside the elbow to get the shot. And then defensively, early help, knocks it away. Good play by White. Hustle plays. It's not even close right now, Louisville or Wake.
Sutton missed the 3. Well, we told you off the top, Louisville is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, and we've not seen enough of it so far. That's a wild shot. If that went in, we'd have to check gravity.
Yeah, and that's where you can't do if you're Wake. You can't give up possessions. You're playing well. Louisville's on their heels. You got to maintain every possession offensively.
Think the crowd wants a foul, man?
Well, I think the crowd's frustrated, and when crowds are frustrated, they blame 2 things. 1, they blame officials. 2, they blame announcers.
What? So they might be booing you. I mean, frankly.
Guaranteed. Let's see.
You're not huge here, I have to say.
Not bad.
That's foot tangle, right?
Just a guy driving, falling down. Good no call.
Now they hate the announcers. Ishmael Massoud has checked in for Wake Forest. Freshman from East Harlem. And his jumper is no good. Can Louisville run, get some points in transition? Williamson pull up on a challenge by Massoud.
Yeah, that's a bad shot. I think Williamson's going to be really good. I just don't think he's ready to go ahead and knock that shot in and be the guy. You're going to see Wara come back in, I would assume.
He's gone to the scorer's table with his team down 11 here in the first half. And a foul away from the ball. Chris Mack just punched the air. It's safer that way. 28-17. Hey, look, it's you never know night, right? I mean, if that can happen in the SEC, this can happen in the ACC. Wake Forest trying to beat Louisville, the hottest team in the conference right now, and they're doing a great job of it so far.
Yeah, and as the great Eric Mosley, our producer, just said, it's been happening all year long.
Yep.
Which has been, I'm telling you, I say it every night on Twitter. Every night, college basketball delivers. Every night.
And that's going to be a 5-second call. Childress never got it in.
Inexcusable. Childress, smallest guy in the court for Wake, throwing the ball in. That's bad business. He was swallowed up by the defense.
You don't like the short guy inbound?
Not much.
That's what you're saying.
Not much.
But a little.
A little.
I'm gathering. Here's Fresh Kimball throwing it down the baseline, and that's another Louisville turnover. It's number 7.
Where'd they make the turnover? The baseline. Baseline and down the lane. Because of this zone, you're going to get trapped. Once in a while, you'll break it and throw a lob and a dunk like Enoch got. But most times, if you drive it with nothing to do, this zone's going to trap you, make you turn it over.
You hate the baseline, too.
Baseline's bad against this. Now, if you reverse it a few times, move the defense up, then go to the baseline, fine.
Musius on Wara, who's become a much better defender this year. He got the hand in, and Musius still beat him.
I like Musius. I really like Musius. He's doing a great job in the middle of the zone. He's making his shots. He squared up Wara right there. Terrific looking stroke.
That wasn't a bad defensive possession.
No, Wara was right there.
Yeah. Louisville looks indecisive.
They don't know what to do. They're not running a single thing on offense other than reverse it and interchange opposite. And hope you make the shot.
Kimball did.
And 5 guys are all over the glass for Wake Forest. They're not really looking to run. They're getting a rebound and figuring it out, and they're still getting wide open looks.
Absolutely wide open look for Wake Forest and Sean D. Brown. It's a 10-0 run.
Jason, they didn't even try to fast break. They just got down the court, and Sean D. Brown is just standing there with nobody around him. Nobody's there. And they weren't trying to transition to offense. They were just coming down the court.
Hey, we got an NBA doubleheader Friday, ESPN and the ESPN app. A rematch of tonight, actually. Raptors and Pacers coming up. And then the Trailblazers and the Jazz and Donovan Mitchell, who Cardinal fans are very aware of. We saw a couple Donovan Mitchell jerseys tonight.
Man, is he good.
Really good.
I did their games in the Bahamas when he was at Louisville. I didn't see that coming, not to that degree.
Jordan Wara is so sleek with his release. You give him a look, he's going to make it.
It's so quick. His wrist is under the basketball and under his hand, and the ball spins perfectly.
I can't tell if the crowd's releasing mad or excited.
They're getting the sand out.
They might be getting the sand out. Brown driving kick to the corner, and White knocks it down.
Every time Wake has driven it to the middle, they've gotten there and created something for somebody else.
So how do you stop that?
You don't let the ball in the middle. You keep the ball going towards the baseline. You align your shoulders with the inside of the wing to force baseline.
Wara.
Wow.
Got it.
Wow.
He is the reason they have a heartbeat right now. 4 threes for Jordan Wara. Childress splits 2. Another drive and kick and just rimmed out. A foul on Wara.
Well, that was terrific offense. I mean, they tried to keep the ball out of the middle. They tried to down the ball screen. Childress split it. And again, it brought the Louisville defense together with found a guy in the corner. He just missed it. Watch. He splits the ball screen. Really nice job. Help comes. And a wide open 3 and a rebound.
Leading to Olivier Sarr going to the free throw line out of the prestigious academy in France, INSEP, that helped create and launch Tony Parker to the Spurs, among others. Ronny Turiaf. You see the build of his career to now 5th in the ACC in double-double.
Yeah, I think he's got a really good touch, big upside. His body's going to do nothing but get stronger. He's got a wide chest, which means his shoulders will get bigger. Wake Forest leads the ACC in free throws attempts. So this, they keep driving it, they're going to get to the line.
Danny Manning said it all afternoon long. We love to get to the free throw line. That's what we try and do. It shows.
Yeah, 6 fouls already on Louisville.
Wara, really tough look. Second chance on a reload, Williams. Yes, sir. Well, we told you they go streaky from 3. Here comes Louisville. Childress. Got it! Off the screen from Oguama.
And Chris Mack just waved his right arm like, I talked about ball pressure, and Williams didn't give him any.
Williams, no. Rebound, Musius. Wake Forest is a game team right now.
This one's cannot force it.
McMahon was fouled on the way to the rim.
Just can't force things. Just a little ball screen, and you're going to see Williams. He's backing up. He's way off. His hands are down.
Here's the thing. Chris Mack actually displayed what he didn't want in shoot-around, and he did that very motion, the back pedal toward the lane, from just about that very spot at like 5 o'clock this afternoon.
That's why coaches drink. I'm just telling you. It is. Look, because he did, not only did he want him not to backpedal, he wanted him to go up into the shooter because Williams can move.
Yeah, he was showing the very worst thing he could do.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Make you crazy.
Yeah, they certainly, and you got very crazy in your coaching time. That drive was fruitless for Johnson. Down to the deck they go. Scrum, and it's out of bounds. It is Wake Forest basketball. Well, now, this wasn't supposed to happen. This looks like the Dockage household on a Tuesday night.
Oh, man, when there's some food around, look at us getting after it right there.
Five
people involved right here.
Back to Louisville, Jason Benetti and Steve Stone. Check that, Dan Dockage.
Well, for all you kids out there.
That's the biggest compliment I could ever get. He's the best to ever do it.
That's your idol, huh?
That's my idol.
Look at Louisville's defense today. What gives?
Well, they have not done what the coach asked them to do, which is get into the ball and pressure. Right there, you see what McMahon did? He didn't let the ball in the lane.
But that was a late closeout,
it was
by
late,
the way,
yes.
by Enoch.
But if the ball had gotten in the lane, Enoch wouldn't have even been there. Throw it in.
That was almost Walton-like, by the way, as here comes Sarr and Wake Forest. The phrase is actually throw it down if you care to get it right. And we have a whistle, and it's going to go against the Demon Deacons with 3:14 to go in the first. It's on Oguama. That's his second.
Yeah, referees always favor the little guy on the block. I mean, McMahon was fighting, Oguama was fighting.
You're little guyist right now.
I'm a little guy. I don't ever want to be an ist.
You said Childress shouldn't be throwing it in, and now you're getting on the little guy for fighting down low. He's scrapping, trying to get position.
Right, but it wasn't a foul. You got to scrap. And I mean, it's a foul just because the guy's 6 foot nothing.
McMahon, nobody got a hand up.
Well, that's bad business. Timeout coming, I think. Andy Manning not happy there. You cannot let McMahon go because, as we said, he made 6 in a row against North Carolina State.
He was grazing from the wing to the top of the key with nobody around.
All right, let's see why. Sarr just backs off. Instead of going up and into him, White didn't exactly fight the screen, but you've got to know personnel. Look, Sarr's backing up. Here's how you can tell McMahon's going to make. When his right shoulder turns towards the bucket, it moves his entire body forward, and I swear to you, he's 75% when he does that.
That's amazing. He's got 39 twos in his career. So it's not like backing off was a good idea. He's not going to drive you to the cup.
Let me tell you, one of the first lines on the scouting report says, make him a driver, period.
Right.
Maybe the first one is take away the 3. Make him a driver.
Correct. But such is life. It's a 10-point game. Wara really got into Childress, who still got the pass off, and a beautiful find to Johnson.
Man, that was a beautiful find. I thought the ball got tipped. Johnson made a heck of a catch and a finish around 2.
Wara made that pretty difficult on Childress. And by the way, the timeout worked. You got Johnson right in McMahon's pocket. Kick to the corner. Sutton.
Yeah, you'll take that. And Sutton's not a bad shooter, but he's not war over McMahon.
Sarr into the post against Enoch. Sarr got fouled and he scored.
What a move by Sarr. He squares up and makes a beautiful right-footed jab step. Watch this. Watch this jab step. Kids out there, you got the ball. Take your time. Square up. Keep it up. Jab step hard. Now you've moved the defense. You're in rhythm, and the defense fouls. Watch this jab step. This is so good.
Why is it so important here?
So important because it makes Enoch move. Watch. Enoch moves. He's off balance, and his hand is there, and it becomes a three-point play. So many times big guys get rid of the ball instead of taking their time, measuring the defense, and if you've had any skill work, you use a jab step or a shot fake, and you get a good look.
McMahon driving, wraparound pass deflected. Johnson lost it to the sideline, and we have a whistle. It's going to Wake Forest.
What hustle. Hustle to dig out the ball, then hustle to run it down, and Louisville fouls, which means you're going to be shooting. Wow. Watch this dig right here. Hands involved. Knocks the ball around. Looks like Warren's got it. No. Childress out-hustles everybody, and that is typical of what has happened in this game.
Foul is on Johnson. It's his second personal, so he and Enoch have two. And Childress gets a lane violation against Wake Forest. My goodness, up 15.
Because this 2 minutes, I think Sean Farnham said it in studio, this 4 minutes is big. These 2 minutes are big, and Sarr just stepped in.
That was bad enough it made you sound like a teapot. You just got so excited. Teapot going off. You said, woo! You did. Sutton the kick. Williams will take the shot. And he got it to go.
Well, that's pretty good by the 6'9" Williams. He jab step, knocked it in. I think it's a big possession. You want to go in 12 or above. Not 10, you want to go 12 or above. It's just a big difference between 10.
Tough lob for Childress. Rescued at the end line by Williams. He's trailing. Johnson directing traffic. Skip it for Sutton. He scores!
I like what Sutton's done. 2 straight. He's driven the basketball.
Crowd stands. Childress. Difficult shot. He got it.
Crowd sits.
They sure did.
Ish.
Got notably quieter in here, though, with the shot from Childress. Sutton driving again, carving the lane, hit the heel, and the rebound for Wake with a final possession.
That time I agree with the crowd. I thought Sutton got bumped as he went into the shot.
So as you said, leads at 12.
Buccaneer.
Childress sized it up. Oh, just missed. At the buzzer.
Oh my God. Oh.
Kawhi Leonard, eat your heart out if that thing goes in.
Man.
Goodness gracious. Hey, all the points that Clemson and Virginia didn't score, we got in this game. 80 combined at the break. Kevin, Dallin, and Sean. Take it away. Have fun, guys. Well, now, it is evidently you never know Wednesday in college basketball because Wake Forest is blazing from three-point range. 6 out of 14. Jordan Nwora keeping Louisville in it, but Wake Forest looking for back-to-back ACC wins for the first time in 3 years, which is hard to believe, but they're playing their tails off. Jason and Dan along with you. How's it happen?
You said it right there. Wake Forest is playing their tails off, and Louisville is not. And you're going to see it right here. 5 guys around the basketball. They're digging the ball out. They're coming up with offensive rebounds. They're just out hustling Louisville. You see right here. Out hustle, step in, drill a 3. I tell you this much. Louisville, if they come out to just play a game in the second half and Wake comes out to compete like they competed in the first half, Louisville is in serious, serious trouble because this is a confident Wake team.
It's a Louisville team playing for, in part, a possible #1 seed line in a month on Selection Sunday. Louisville's only been down 13 times in the last 10 seasons by this many. This doesn't happen much, let alone on this court, as there's a foul coming as Kimball drove hard, and we are evidently here in the Bronx. The cheer is rather sarcastic.
All right. You mentioned playing for a #1 seed. I'll tell you what Louisville's really playing for right now.
What's that?
ACC championship.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's huge. You think about Chris Mack taking over a program. I thought Scott Padgett did a really good job in the interim. Chris takes it over, and 3 years later, you're down the stretch for an ACC title. That's pretty daggone good. You know, the 1 seed or 2 seed comes with it, but getting a conference championship, man, that'd be massive for Louisville.
1 for 2 for Kimball.
I like this. I like picking up full court. You got to speed them up. Even if you foul out on the perimeter,
you don't mind it necessarily.
No,
big
you don't.
collision.
You just can't have guys backing off and giving up looks.
Wake hit 6
See that
threes in the
switch?
first half.
Wara switched up into the ball. There you go.
He's tailing Childress the whole way. White got it for 3. That's his 4th 3 for Andrian White.
And you talk about on fire. Perry was just a split second late.
Brother Andrew, college basketball player across the country, a couple of different places. That goes down for Fresh Kimball, who's come out of the chute hot for Louisville.
He's a 5th-year guy. Transfer, scored a bunch at St. Joe's. Go with your veterans and play harder, and you'll be all right if you're Louisville.
A 3-year captain for Phil Martelli, who's since gone to Michigan as an assistant. White for his 5th.
And at that time, Warwick got there with a hand extended and influenced the flight of the ball.
At the very least, Jordan Wara has got the memo about the defense, as that's a foul, definitely, and 2 free throws for Sutton on the way.
This is the best closeout, Jason, they've had all game. See, he's out with a hand already up, and you can see White is going backwards when he lands. That means you've influenced the shot and the ball.
We asked Chris Mack at shoot-around today about Jordan Wara and his defense, and he used the phrase night and day compared to last year.
Yeah, you said it. Jordan Wara is not even the same player as when we did a game in here last year. Not even the same. He guards, he shoots it better. The more aggressive he is in this game, the better Louisville will be. I like what Sutton's done. Sutton ended the half driving everything. He started the second half driving it. Got a foul.
The swell begins from the crowd at the Yum Center. I feel like this is a major possession for Wake Forest right now. Ooh, Johnson couldn't get the feet right. Busey is driving. Wara beat him, but Enoch erased it. Catch and shoot from the wing wouldn't go. Off the find from Kimball, and a foul called against Louisville. It's on Sutton. It's his 2nd, and the bench can't believe it.
Look, unfortunate, but you got to call it. Sutton's down, and you trip over him. Personally, I wouldn't call that.
That's incidental, Dan. He didn't grab him.
You know what the definition of a foul is?
What's that?
When the referee blows a whistle and says foul.
Childress, no. Sarr in a 3-man car wash for the rebound.
I agree with you, buddy.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I can tell by that grin you got on your face. But how about that rebound for Sarr? There are 3 guys around him. He gets support.
This has been all game, Jason. We've seen it on both ends, right? Look at Sarr with a little bit of a push, but you got 3 guys on him. I hope the referees who are being serenaded.
Well, they're being told about vacuums.
Yes. I hope they stand tough. Brian Dorsey, Kip Kissinger,
and A.J. Desai.
This is where you need to be a veteran referee and just call the game and don't worry about what's happening around you. And these are three very good officials. Fish.
Lead is 11. You always have the ish to drop in. Sutton rims the net for 3.
Man, I like him. He's tough.
Yeah, he's doing it inside now right now.
Yeah, he's a winning guy. Look at Perry on the ball.
Much closer defense.
Game is tight.
White bumping on Enoch. Challenge shot. And a foul called against Wake Forest. No, yeah, they do have Sarr. It's his second.
Great defense by Enoch. He just stays straight. And this time, look at Sutton. Sutton came from behind the play to get in front of Sarr. Best jump, grabbed it.
You think that was a foul, though?
I was actually watching Sutton.
Okay.
Yeah, because the referee called it.
Yeah, get off the fence.
And this is a really good refereeing call.
Perry the leader. No dice.
Not a great shot. Once he got stopped, need to kick it and live to fight another day on this possession.
Shot selection was so good for Louisville when they were starting the comeback. Sarr for 2. That's not the shot you're looking for.
They're a little rushed now because of the pressure.
You said a couple minutes ago, speeding them up gets you a couple things. Enoch measuring. Enoch grinding. Enoch scoring a foul. Third on Sarr.
You're going to see Sarr just reaches down, I believe, with his left hand just a little bit. Enoch strong, taking his time right there. He reaches in instead of going straight up, and good for Enoch, man. He kept his eyes. You see Enoch, he was still watching the ball as it went in. So many times guys drop their head. No. Till it goes through, you watch it. I don't know why. I don't know why. But continuing watching the ball gets the ball in the basket. I'm telling you.
There's a psychic feel to that. As Enoch makes a free throw, all he ever wanted to do was play at Connecticut. Didn't find himself there, transferred away to Louisville and trying to get the Cards back in it. And their 8-game win streak on the line. Oh, Perry is Velcro to White.
That's all right. That's all right if you're Louisville. Hey, look, Perry's defense on the ball has changed his game. Danny Manning might want to think about going with Childress handling the ball against Kimball. You're okay with this because Chris Mack said we got to pressure people. So what? You fouled. Big deal. Let's go.
That is number 3 on Perry.
Yeah, but, you know,
you're whining.
Yeah, I am, because 3 fouls, we act like it's 5. It's just 3. You can play with 3 fouls, and if you can't, you shouldn't be playing.
Well, you pretty clearly can tell what the message was at halftime.
No question.
Everybody's pawing at the ball
And
defensively.
Yes, and everybody's hands up.
Mucius over Wara, another closeout.
When Mucius followed through, he hit Wara's hand.
McMahon saw it. And the crowd.
This is pretty good. Dick Vitale got Rick Pitino to recruit McMahon. He keeps delivering. He's really good.
Awesome, baby.
He's a PTP'er.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one. There's only 2 for the Wake Forest lead. It was 12 at the half. That has since changed thanks to 15-5, maybe going on 16-5 on a McMahon 4-point play.
Defense is key to We talk about Chris Mack, and he is one of the best coaches in the country, but I'm also going to tell you his staff is fantastic. And heating the ball up, they finally got it to the team in the second half, and look what the difference is.
They're attached to every ball handle.
So even that, jumping out of the shooter.
Yeah, he kept him from pulling the trigger.
Right.
White got bumped, and they're going to get the foul against Louisville.
It's a good call. I mean, you bump and knock a guy off balance. People don't like it, but again, that's not a bad foul because you're up into people. You're not letting a guy come off and then backing up. There's nothing wrong with that foul.
We have Louisville again on Saturday. In between these two games, we're going to find out what Chris Mack said at halftime because it had to have been a pretty driving halftime speech to change the defense as it did.
Yeah, I don't imagine it was kumbaya.
You don't think there was incense?
I don't think, although Chris did go to Catholic school.
White dribbling, two to shoot, Childress unloads. No rebound for Wake Forest and Oklahoma.
Well, that's huge, and now you've got to get a good possession. Something in the post by Musius wouldn't be bad, even though he's on Sutton.
Yeah, Sutton fronted him there, a little hesitation. Childress, another try for Oklahoma. He got overrun by Sutton, and a leak out for Wara for Louisville's first lead. Does Wake have a response? Is there an opening to shoot a response? Brown was caught on the baseline and a whistle.
Nobody rotated back. Guard responsibility. Musius should have rotated back. White should have rotated back. Nobody does. You give up a dunk.
It's not yet panic for Wake Forest, but it's certainly an uncomfortable heartbeat.
Totally stifled right now. Now, it's going to be interesting. Enoch has been very effective guarding the post, jumping out on ball screens. I thought Williams had a very bad first half in terms of playing hard on the defensive end. Let's see if the defense slows down with the substitution. Shouldn't.
Childress had no opportunity to shoot. 8 on the shot clock. No openings. Brown off the top of the backboard. Kimball saw Wara. Oh, Pavlani! No way! Brown, a rim run for 2, but the crowd is still savoring Jordan Wara's blindfolded 3.
He was trying to get fouled. Why not?
That's a cleaner look, and it doesn't go in, and a foul called and a second chance for Sutton.
And that was great by Williams. Williams much more active on both ends, went up and got a tip and got a foul for Sutton. Watch this. I swear he's trying to get fouled. Here, watch.
Yeah.
Little shot fake, jump into him, no call, drills it.
He's almost a set shot.
I'm telling you, he's trying right there.
I think he was on his tiptoes when he shot that. I mean, you think about the demeanor of this team. He just said that's awful, I think, to the Wake Forest guys. If I'm reading lips properly, which we're trained to do as college basketball viewers.
You think he meant it's awful that he made the shot?
Hey, sorry I did that to you.
He ain't not saying that. All right, here you go.
Sutton plays the passing lane.
I tell you what, I think he changed the mentality at the end of the half by driving the basketball.
You do?
I do. Watch the switch. See how Williams came up right there?
He wasn't doing that in the first half. And a whistle on the drive against Wara. That's going to be a foul against Wara, who rejects the call very much. That is his third.
You don't like it, a third foul. Let's see. Look at this. Sutton changed. I love this kid, man. He plays hard. He's strong. He's tough. I like those kids too. Good for them.
I like a good bench mob.
I love a good bench mob. I like a good pile and a good bench mob.
You do?
Yep.
Which do you like more?
If you win, I like a good pile. Just jump in a pile, and if you make a good bucket, then you go get a little bench mob.
Childress curling.
Yeah, but no chance. I'll tell you why. Johnson was great on that possession. He guarded the pass inbounds, and then as Childress came off screens, he sprinted off with his hand up. It was unbelievably good defense by Johnson.
The flip of the switch of the defense was immediate.
Watch this. Johnson has already got a hand up. See, he's coming out through the screen with his hand up. That's what was taught by the staff in the shoot-around, and that's what wasn't happening in the first half. Not even close.
Free throw is good. We're going to have a lot of free throws down the stretch here, you'd imagine, with the fouls mounting.
Nobody's got a flight. We're good.
To be clear, Dan actually did just check his watch, just to make sure. Second free throw good for Sutton. His second half has been outstanding, as you said. Johnson for Sard, 2 and a foul, a major spot for Wake Forest.
All right. There was no pickup on the ball across half court on this possession. There was no toughness into the ball on that possession by Louisville. None.
Yeah.
And when you relax, that's what you get. None. I'm telling you. Ball screen. Williams flattened out, got beat around instead of coming up, and Sutton stood and watched. Three-point play opportunity.
They're chasing instead of being assertive.
Yeah, you're being proactive. Wait a second. You're being reactive instead of proactive.
You were proactive in realizing you had it backwards, too, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Practice what you preach, kids. Louisville with its 8-game win streak leading the ACC. Sarr redirected to the corner. Kimball lost it, and a whistle comes. 1-1 on the way, and Louisville's a 73% foul shooting team. Foul is on Childress, his second.
How about this?
What?
I was talking to Lavelle Jordan, the head coach of Butler, today.
Yeah.
His team, against Butler, teams are shooting 82% from the free throw line.
Gotta have better free throw defense.
That's what I told him.
You gotta.
Isn't it amazing, though?
They had a big win earlier today.
Kamar Baldwin, I have no idea who makes Wooden Award lists, but whoever did it, not putting Kamar Baldwin on the late season Wooden Award top 20, 25 is ridiculous.
Who's a better late game player than him in college basketball?
Nobody.
Sarr gets the pinball.
No, and that was because, again, the ball got into the middle, help came, weak side rebound open. Nobody is a better closer than Kamar Baldwin. He did it again today.
Did it early in the year against Stanford.
Did it his first game of his college career.
Yep. Wide open Kimball for 3.
He's been a difference maker. He and Sutton. Great move starting him in the second half. He came right out and drove it and always made a couple threes.
They had 2 total points in the first half. They've owned this half.
This is what I said about Williams. Sarr has had his way once Enoch went out of the game. I hate to bang on a kid, but mostly effort or lack thereof.
Williams gets 2 there, right back. And we got a timeout with Louisville up by 5. 11:01 to go. The hottest team in the ACC trying to hang on. Yeah, after a finish like that, you got to go into the micro fridge, that's for sure. Duke, North Carolina, Saturday, 6 Eastern time. It is as fun, as energetic of a rivalry as you are going to see. If you've never watched one of those games, if you're like a Louisville fan or a Wake Forest fan that somehow just like abstains from Duke, North Carolina, you should do it once.
I agree.
Yeah.
Same with Kentucky, Louisville.
Yeah, you were here a couple years ago.
Oh, I love that rivalry. I think it's better. Well, we're promoting Duke, North Carolina, but
Dan will give you his thoughts from 12 to 3 tomorrow in the great city of Indianapolis.
Oh, look at
Brown the drive. Sarr got caught up with Massoud, and here comes Louisville. The freshman Williamson corrals it. Here's Wara. Sarr with a closeout. Williamson back to the corner. And another three. Kimball's been awesome.
Awesome. Second half, the defense and Kimball, terrific. You notice after that timeout, Enoch in, Williams out.
Williams got the two, came out after the timeout. Good defense by the freshman David Johnson. Bad hit ahead.
Got to take it to the foul line unless you got a guy going for a layup, and then nobody got back and fouled.
2 free throws coming for Torrey Johnson on the reach-in. Lead is 7 for Louisville. Two looks at the Louisville huddle. In the center on the right is Chris Mack, the head coach. On the left, Dino Gaudio, our former colleague, his assistant. They're on the same staff now. Gaudio under Mack. They both worked together from 01 to 04 at Wake Forest, tonight's opponent for the late, great Skip Prosser, who was such a tremendous influence on both of them and so many in the college ranks.
Yeah, Dino and Skip were together a long time as assistants at Xavier, and I believe they were there when Chris played at Xavier. Chris played a couple years for Jim Cruz at Evansville. He's a Cincinnati kid. He transferred to Xavier. Man, is he a good coach and a great guy.
Yeah, he is as sharp of a communicator as you're going to find. We were talking to him about this earlier, and he said, look, I learned over the course of some time with the help of Skip Prosser in part that he's got to cut out some of the extra stuff that players don't need to hear. Do they need the 18th thing on the list? Is that actually effective?
You know, Thad Matta used to say, I don't major in minors. Which is basically, I'm just going to tell you the stuff you need, and that's it. I'm watching Chris Mack. He doesn't say a whole lot. He was a little bit mad at David Johnson for the pass, but
Enoch goes into Sarr, draws a whistle. Enoch has come back in the game and tried to ram to the lane for 2 free throws. That's the 4th on Sarr.
Oh, I'm surprised that was on Sarr. I thought Johnson came over and got his hands in. That's a big call because Sarr's been active.
Yeah, you lose 7-foot center down low. It's a problem with Enoch playing the way he is.
Yeah, and I thought Enoch is good from this standpoint. He doesn't need the ball, but when he gets it, something good happens. Let's see. Yeah.
You think? Think with the body?
I think when you put your hand down real quick, I thought it was on the help, but that's a big foul. You got to make Enoch make that shot instead of bailing him out.
2 for 2 for Stephen Enoch.
And the other thing you've got to do is you got to know you have 3 fouls, so you cannot foul. You just got to go up, jump straight up.
That's on Enoch, and that's his 3rd. Don't need that. You look distressed.
I thought Enoch played great defense. He squared his shoulders to the sideline, which is what you want. And watch, his shoulders are square right here to the sideline. Smart move by Childress. He just went into his hip.
Hips don't lie. Childress got the first.
I'll talk about that 12 to 3 tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
1070 the fan.
Yeah, no promos by the host himself. Thank you. Childress goes 2 for 2. And the lead is once again 7. Louisville trailed by as much as 15 this evening.
Yeah, down by 12 at half. The 7-point game, 9 minutes to go. If Wake can get this end of the court figured out a little bit and get some stops without fouling.
Perry had a notion for 3. Instead, they'll go into the post. That's a big seal for Enoch.
Yeah, that's a great post feed. Just stuffed it into Enoch where he didn't have to come out from the bucket.
He had the whole world canvas down there.
He destroyed me.
If many wish to. Masood. Out of bounds.
How much more active are the hands of Louisville? Hey, watch this. Watch this pass. Boom! He stuffs it. Enoch doesn't have to step out, and Masood and the entire state of North Carolina gets dumped right there.
How about the positioning?
Oh, that was great. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't need the ball, but he's always working, and he's an outlet, and when he gets it, he takes his time so good things happen.
White down the middle of the lane for 2, and it's hanging around Wake Forest.
Yeah, he just went right around the defender and shot it up nice over Williams. This is the end. You got to keep the ball out of the lane if you're Louisville, and you've got to make darn sure that the ball just can't be thrown into the post for a shot. You've got to make the postman shoot over you.
They're going to get Childress on a foul, riding defensively and no shot. 3rd on Childress.
Teams in the double bonus. 2 shots for Louisville's number 0.
Fresh Kimball for 2 shots. Won a state title at Newman Goretti. In Philly, went to St. Joe's. 3-time captain missed the shot. Heat Clippers on ESPN, and after that, SVP has so much for you. Milwaukee against the rest of the East. We'll see what Tim Legler thinks. The NBA trade deadline's coming up. Hashtag Wojbombs. And then Mookie Betts traded by the Red Sox to the chagrin of all Red Sox fans. Childress would have been big. Instead, Louisville's got the rebound.
Louisville got lucky because the defender, Kimball, was backing up like we saw in the first half when Wake made all those.
Perry wanted to go, got closed off. Sutton missed the shot. Wake is still lingering here even after giving up the lead. Brown the scoop, and he's closed out by Sutton.
Boy, 2 big misses.
Game sort of stagnant.
Yeah, stopped.
Louisville happy to milk a little clock and look for a good shot. Perry on Childress. 2 Wake players had it, Brown and Okwama. Here come the Deeks with 7 to go. Not won back-to-back ACC games 2017, and that's a travel on Adrian White. Is there a comeback in the Demon Deacons? Dan will answer next. For you millennials watching our telecast, Wake Forest was a really good basketball program for 7 straight years, making NCAA tournaments in the 90s under Dave Odom. Randolph Childress with that outstanding 3 days in the ACC tournament in 95. Tim Duncan in 96. They were right up there with Duke and Carolina. This was a dynastic program in the 90s, and since 91, 63+% win percentage until 2010. After that, not a whole lot.
Well, they made an idiotic decision to get rid of Dino Gaudier, and sometimes you get what you deserve.
Yeah. He went to back-to-back NCAA tournaments.
That's terrific.
Been to 1 since.
Terrific coach, and maybe he wasn't what Wake thought they needed to have in a personnel. I have no idea, but it was an idiotic decision, and they haven't recovered yet.
But again, for people who are just new to college basketball or on the younger side, Wake Forest was at the top half of the ACC year to year.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they were Tim Duncan, Childress, you mentioned, Rodney Rogers, Chris Paul was there. They were number one in the country.
Justin
right?
Gray.
James Johnson, who was a quadruple black belt, some kind of highest level ever from Wyoming. I think he played for Dino.
Yeah, he played for Dino.
Yeah, I mean, he was that guy is a great. Look at that record, 61-31. Are you kidding me?
Not good enough.
Holy
Dan.
cow! How's it going for you since, mate?
Fourth foul on Enoch, by the way, is the younger Childress. Brandon Childress makes the free throw. His dad, if you have never seen that run of 3 games in the ACC tournament back in 1995, 107 points in 3 games.
I mean, that's Carolina, when Carolina was Carolina, right? I mean, that was
the iconic Jameson, right?
Yeah, the iconic play of him crossing over them.
It was McGinnis, right? Jeff McGinnis. And gave him the little, how do you do? Along with him. Randolph living on the bench at this point. The foul called on Wara's effort toward the rim. Andrian White whistled for that. If you've not seen this, watch this. See you, Jeff. And then this. You talk about slaying somebody. That is just mean.
Tim Duncan, I don't know how he got to Wake, but I do know this. When I was an assistant at Indiana, our other assistant, whose name I shall not mention, was cleaning out his desk and found a package from Tim Duncan's coach in the Bahamas.
To Indiana?
Yes.
Uh-oh. What did it say?
Basically, please recruit this young man, and had all his information. I told my friend, the other assistant, shred it, burn it, don't let Coach Knight ever see it.
You're not the only ones to miss him, the guy.
Oh, but at least he opened the letter.
Yeah, that's true. Probably want to open the letter from now on. Childress, and it's going to be Louisville ball as the officials talk it over.
I like this crew.
You do?
I do.
You said ish earlier.
Yeah, I was teasing because Brian Dorsey, really good officials. Brian got hurt a couple years ago and is now back. And the game is much better for it. Kip Kissinger, he was a guy that was in the MAC when I was coaching. He was a young official coming up. It's a very good crew.
I knew A.J. Desai when I was doing games in the Big South. Yeah. He's made his way to the ACC.
Yeah, it's a really good crew. My ish was just comic relief.
But you were just starting to talk about Ish Smith.
Georgia Tech.
Little floater. Kimball. Tip is yanked down and a foul called on that effort by Williams.
Can I tell you how you think as a coach if you're Danny Manning?
Sure.
You want the officials to flip because A.J., the official underneath his defensive basket, is making all the calls. I'm being very serious about this. You want the officials to have a different guy under the basket.
Really?
Yes. I'm telling you.
How do you make that happen?
It's hard. But you just say, look, can somebody else get under there? And that's exactly, I'm telling you, that's what a coach looks at. He says, flip this, because he's gotten used to down here making too many calls.
So you ask for that?
Yes.
And you get it how often?
Oh, never. But unless the normal course, let's see next time they're down the court. But every call on the defensive end has been made by A.J. I'm telling you.
So, but you're saying, oh, I've got the fix for that. Ask for it, and then it never works.
Well, it may work naturally.
You're leaning into me.
I always lean into you. You're my spirit.
I don't know what that means.
You're my comfy show.
Thanks for watching with us. I'm evidently the blanket to Dan's Linus. Sarr is fouled on the back pedal by Williams. What do you think?
I thought it was a foul. I thought Williams ran into a guy going to make a play, backed into him. It's a foul.
Right?
It's the first time I've seen Chris Mack get upset, but he didn't have a great view of it. That's a foul. And I don't like fouls called. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought, I know there was a lot of conversation last night, Michigan, Ohio State, and I was watching it in a restaurant, so I didn't hear Jay or Dan's commentary on it. I heard about it after, but I thought it was a really well officiated game because I don't like touch fouls. I don't like that. Different strokes for different folks, but that when it's a foul, it's a foul. If it inhibits a guy going to score and he's in the air.
That's been a focus for officials in this game for years now, is creating opportunities to score, spacing. Sutton got wrapped around and fouled. Could have been a foul a moment before, actually.
Different official made the call. Now Danny Manning's got to say, hey guys, stop fouling. I'm being honest.
Or switch again, get the third guy down.
No.
But I mean, at some point, you got to attack a different problem.
Yeah, and the problem is your players, right? Because they're the ones doing the fouling.
That's 5 on Sarr, I believe. Danny Manning wants the officials to talk about it. Our first indication was that it was 5 on Sarr, but the officials will talk it over and be serenaded by sound here in Louisville. They're going to go to the monitor. How do you feel about replay, Dan?
I think it should be banned from every sport forever.
Okay. You're wrong. They're going to talk it over. Louisville.
How can an opinion be wrong?
No, you are. You're one of the rare people whose opinion can actually be wrong. Yeah, it's amazing. We've got the list. You're on it. That is Sarr, and it's his 5th. There are certain calls that need to be reviewed. That big, that important in a game.
Not in my opinion. In my opinion, just get rid of it. Basketball is a game played by people, ref by people that are going to make great calls and bad mistakes. Let's go.
How would you feel if you were coaching, the first year replay was gone, and you got hurt by a call? Watch this one here.
Bowling Green had not been. That's a good call.
Yeah, it's on Sarr.
I thought it was on 11.
Really? You can get either. Yeah. You were at Bowling Green.
We're up 1 against Wally Zerbian in the semifinals of the MAC tournament. Miami, Ohio, the year they went to the Sweet 16. We got the ball less than a minute.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the referee, there's no pressure on us, calls a 10 count.
Okay.
And I was trying to get one of my players down here in position. I wanted him to get the ball at the end of the clock. I go back and look at it. The guy went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looked at the shot clock, called 10. And I still hate replay.
Well, what can we do to convince you?
Nothing. It's horrible.
Nothing at all.
Slows the game. Hate it.
Would you have wanted replay that day?
It would have made me a lot of money.
Did you just order a water, by the way? It just went walking by. If that was yours, we got to go back and get it. He's Dan.
No, I don't want replay. And kill me? I'm not being old
school. Well, don't
do
that. I mean, it's a little harsh.
I don't like it.
You can carve it out to make it matter for the biggest plays.
Do you think that's the way it is right now?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I think we're over replaying. I think we've gone past the middle.
And that's why I don't like it, because you start it here and it expands to there.
Right, but it doesn't always have to be that case.
But it always has.
But that doesn't mean it has to stay that way. You always were a jerk, and now you work with me and you're nicer.
You think that replay is going to go backwards and we're going to replay less?
Could be.
Okay.
Everything's cyclical, Dan.
Yeah, okay.
Everything's cyclical. Yeah. It is.
Yeah. Things that work, at least in people's minds, generally don't go backwards.
Childress, no. Punched up in the air. Second chance, no. Busey, it's again, yes.
I like that kid, man. He hasn't done much in the second half, but he did a ton there. This is only a 5-point game. Replay or no replay.
Yeah, it's his first bucket in the second half. I sensed that you were going to talk about replay again, so I just cut you off instinctively. Kimball right inside set. That's a foul. It's got to be. Johnson wrapped around him. And 2 free throws coming.
Yeah, Danny Manning's telling Kip Kissinger, look, the offensive player slid into him, but this is a foul. Watch the arm, going to wrap around right there. Should have been called there.
It's a foul the whole way.
Yeah. Without replay.
Ish. Kimball's got the first.
All right, watch for this. Kimball has shot the ball hard. Watch for a long rebound. You got to get Wara and Williams off the block or off the backboard if you are Wake here. Made it, but I'm telling you, he adjusted. He had shot too short. He's adjusted. He's shooting harder. And so many times you see a rebound on a free throw.
Every one of his points in this game after halftime.
He's terrific. He's been great.
Wake still sort of loitering in this game. Down 7. Childress, a bullet find for Oklahoma.
Again, Williams stayed way too long, and there was no weak side help from Wara.
Louisville's not had that same charged-up personality as we saw in the first 10 minutes of this half.
No, 10 minutes, they were really good. Last 10 minutes, or last 6, 7 minutes, awful. They're just playing. They're not competing right now.
Louisville by a nickel, up by 8. In the win column, 8 in a row for Louisville. Hey, 6 Eastern Saturday, Duke and North Carolina. If there's one game that Carolina is circling after a struggle this year to 3-8 in the league, it is this one. They've played as close as anybody in history in a rivalry series. And Duke and Carolina Saturday, 6 Eastern time. You do not want to miss it. Everybody will be talking about it. And Duke is chasing Louisville right now, which has gone up by 8 in the win column since January 4th. 8 games in a row in the win column for Louisville to get to 10-1 in the league.
You know, Duke Carolina is a mismatch in theory, right?
Yep.
Interesting game. We're going to be here Saturday is Virginia. Virginia's sitting there 7-4. Everybody talking about they can't do this, can't do that. Well, you know what?
It's a huge game for them trying to get into the tournament.
Huge.
That's a big save at the end line by Sutton, too.
Not surprised. He's hustled. He's been terrific. He and Kimball, really, second half.
13 and 11 for Sutton, a double-double. Redshirt senior from here in Louisville. McMahon has been quiet since that 4-point play. Sidestep, couldn't pull the trigger. Kimball with 4. Got it for 3. To the sideline and Wake Forest basketball.
Hey, you get a grad transfer. That's what you expect out of him. Tough game. Guys aren't playing in the first half. Coach Max Smart starts him in the second half, and man, is he delivered. Terrific second half.
14 second half points.
Yeah, that's huge. And they've been big. Like from the start of the second half, he's the guy, he and Sutton, that really got him going, and really throughout the half.
They made the big run early first half and had the lead for the balance of the second half and trying to hang on as Childress misfires on a 3. Rebound from Busey is swatted into next Tuesday by Williams. And a foul called. McMahon drew it, wrestling with the Demon Deacons. Oh, Williams vanquished the shot.
He went up to dunking.
Yeah, he did.
He went up to dunking on everybody right there. Oh! Wow. That was a heck of a defensive play by Williams.
McMahon got the first. Tough night at points in the defensive end for Williams, but that was an exclamation.
Yeah, Williams made up for a little bit of it with a heck of a block. Been a good second half for Chris Mack. That's the way you're expecting Louisville to play. Let's be honest. You come out and you play that way as you move through the ACC. What a block. If you don't play the way Louisville's played in the second half, you're going to be in trouble in a lot of these games. And Williams, terrific right there.
That is a great look by our crew.
Yeah, it is.
And a clean block by that young man. Out of Fort Wayne, the Summit City.
Snyder High School, one of the great high schools. Rod Woodson, Vaughn Dunbar, running back in the NFL.
He's the career blocks leader at Snyder High School. What career records do you have at Andrean?
Points in a game.
Most detentions.
I did get my diploma, and it said, "See me, the dean." I had to do 3 days of.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
No. Father Ward and I had to do 3 days after I graduated for a fight I got in health class.
That's like getting a 3rd technical foul as a coach, right? Like, you already got 2. How can you get a 3rd?
Well,
you got detention after graduation, which is quite the feat.
They weren't going to give me my diploma unless I did 3 days with Father Ward.
Well, we're happy you made it. Wake's down 10. Danny Manning and his team were a game opponent for the first 24 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and then Louisville turned it up.
Yeah, defensively.
Yeah, they didn't really play very hard. In fact, I would say they didn't really compete defensively in the first half. And when you don't do that, I don't care if you're playing the last place team or the first place team, you're going to get hurt. And Louisville then decided to turn it up, and it's been a 22-point swing.
Yep, down 12 at the half, 46-34. Catch and shoot for White wouldn't go.
Even there, sorry, Jason. Even there, when White went up to shoot, the hand was there and into the shooter. It wasn't backed off and up. That's influencing the ball and the shot.
I'll say this, if you're a coach around the country and you need to convince your team to play defense, put on the first half for a little bit and the second half for a little bit of this game. It's all the evidence you need.
Chris Mack has a great teaching tape for his own team because, again, you're playing the last place team in your league and you're down 12 on your home court simply because of lack of effort on the defensive end.
They made shots in the first half. Louisville did.
Yeah, they were fine offensively. But it doesn't matter. If you're not going to guard, kids today can drill threes and get comfortable offensively. I think the second half, other than a few possessions after the first 10, 12 minutes, Wake has not been comfortable at all in their offense.
Buck 45 to go. Wake Forest is at Syracuse on Saturday. Louisville, as you said, stays home for Virginia, 4 o'clock on ESPN. Bump called, free throws coming for Torrey Johnson. So, where's the next loss for Louisville on this schedule? Saturday? Virginia's played them tough for years now.
Don't question about it. Clemson beating Duke, North Carolina, Virginia, at Clemson. You and I had Syracuse play probably as well as they've played, at least in the overtime against Virginia a few Saturdays ago.
Yeah. Buddy Boeheim looked like the best three-point shooter in college basketball history that day.
He did. A totally different style coming up on Saturday, though, for Louisville.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a grinder. With Virginia, and another foul called against Wake Forest. We have no shortage of whistles in the second half here at the Yum Center, one of the great places to watch college basketball.
I think this is one of the great cities in America. I love Louisville.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I mean, 4th Street's great. This arena's great. The Kentucky Derby is insanely fantastic.
Ali Museum.
Unbelievable.
The AAA
Louisville
Bats.
Louisville Slugger
Museum.
It's a terrific city.
I know some locals don't love your pronunciation of Louisville. Too many syllables on your part. Louisville. That's all you got to do.
Louisville.
Okay. Please send your cards and letters to @DanDockich on Twitter. Childress. Front rim. Rebound for Wara, and Louisville has basically put a stamp on this game. The crowd, which revolted in the first half, is now fully behind the hottest team in the ACC.
We're with you winter tie, guys.
Louisville will win 9 in a row to get to 20-3 as this one comes to a close.
That's what I've been saying. Like, people, there's no great teams. Man, Louisville's 20-3, going to be 11-1 in the ACC. That's greatness.
How about this? It's their best start since 1993 when they were 11-1 in the Metro Conference. That was their final conference record that year. They only played 12 league games. Could you imagine that nowadays? 12 league games? People freak out.
ADs would freak out.
Oh, yeah.
They're not making enough money.
There's a 7-team league at that time, just before
Florida State was in that league, I do believe.
A little earlier. Just before our pal Seth Greenberg got to South Florida.
Coach.
Why are you mentioning me? It's head flicking.
Come on, leave me alone.
Williams missed the shot. Juarez got the rebound. He's surrounded, and Louisville outdoes Wake in the second half in a big way. 86-76 your final score.
Terrific second half. That guy, Chris Mack, and his staff did a great job of preparing his team. His team didn't necessarily listen in the first half, but the message got across in the second half, and they were terrific.
It's coaching right there.
Darn right.
Dan, always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Great to be in Louisville with you. 86-76 your final score. For Dan, our entire crew, Eric Mosley, Bonnie Riley, and everybody, we're going to Sports Center. John Anderson and Kenny Mayne have it. Take it.